Listen to this. Results do not lie, and that can feel heavy when your heart is tired. But the truth inside that statement is also kind. Results are not here to shame you. They are here to show you what has been growing beneath the surface. They tell the story your habits have been writing in quiet places. They reveal what is working, what is not working, and what needs your honest attention. If life has been giving you clear feedback, do not call it rejection. Call it information. Call it a mirror. Call it a chance to begin again with wisdom. Breathe with me for a moment. You do not need to be perfect to read the truth in front of you. You only need to be willing. The Creator has placed in you the ability to notice, to learn, and to change. That means you are not trapped by what has already happened. You are invited to respond differently now. Results are never only about the final outcome. They are also about the path that led there, the choices repeated, the things ignored, and the things nurtured. So when the outcome hurts, stay gentle. Pain can be a teacher without becoming your identity. Remember this truth. Feedback is a gift when you are brave enough to receive it. Some people spend years fighting the evidence because they do not want to admit that a pattern has consequences. They keep blaming timing, luck, other people, or the weather of the moment. But truth has a quiet way of staying in the room. It does not leave just because you are uncomfortable. That is why results matter. They interrupt denial. They interrupt self-deception. They interrupt the loop that keeps you hoping for a different life without changing the ingredients. That interruption can become mercy. You may have wanted softer signs. You may have hoped for encouragement before correction. That is human. But sometimes the kindest thing reality can do is speak plainly. If a habit keeps draining you, the result will show it. If a relationship keeps dishonoring you, the result will show it. If a thought pattern keeps shrinking your confidence, the result will show it. Not to crush you, but to free you from confusion. Clear results help you stop negotiating with what is already proven. They help you choose what is honest, what is healthy, and what is finally ready to go. Feel it in your soul. There is a strange relief in truth. Once you stop arguing with what is, you can start building what should be. That is the good hidden inside results. They are not always comfortable, but they are clarifying. They tell you where your energy has been going, and whether that energy has been feeding life or feeding exhaustion. They tell you whether your words, choices, boundaries, and routines are producing peace or pressure. This is not about condemning yourself for every wrong turn. It is about learning to read the map of your own life with honesty and care. There are seasons when you need less self-defense and more self-honesty. The moment you stop defending every outcome, you become available for growth. You begin to ask different questions. What did I repeat? What did I ignore? What did I protect that needed release? What did I undervalue that needed attention? What did I hope would change without my participation? These questions can feel uncomfortable at first, but they are sacred. They lead you away from circular frustration and toward real progress. They help your heart move from confusion into responsibility. And responsibility is where freedom begins. Listen to this. Responsibility is not punishment. Responsibility is power placed back into your hands. Says you may not control everything, but you are not helpless. You can choose your next step. You can choose your tone. You can choose your boundaries. You can choose the habits that shape tomorrow. When you accept responsibility without shame, your spirit becomes steadier. You stop waiting for a rescue that only becomes real through your own participation. You start cooperating with the life you want. That cooperation is one of the most powerful forms of hope because it turns wishing into movement. Results do not lie, but they also do not define your worth. That distinction matters. A result may reveal a weakness in a method, a blind spot in a habit, or a cost in a decision. It does not reveal the full value of your soul. You are more than one outcome. You are more than one disappointment. You have more than one season of delay. Your worth is deeper than the current scorecard of your life. If something has failed, let it teach you. If something has flourished, let it humble you. Either way, let it shape you without shrinking you. Breathe with me for a moment. If the results in your life are painful, do not rush to hatred of yourself. Painful results do not mean you are doomed. They mean there is a message to hear. Maybe the message is rest. Maybe it is discipline. Maybe it is patience. Maybe it is honesty. Maybe it is better support. Maybe it is a different path entirely. The point is not to stare at the result and freeze. The point is to let it guide your next move. Even disappointing results can become helpful if they lead you to wiser decisions. The Creator has not hidden your next step from you out of cruelty. Sometimes clarity comes only after you have seen enough of what does not work. That is why people often reach their deepest turning point after a hard truth lands. Closed door can preserve dignity. A broken pattern can expose a wound. A lost opportunity can make room for a truer one. This does not mean every painful thing is good. It means life can still speak through pain and you can still learn. You do not need to glorify the hurt to honor the lesson. You only need to listen. Remember this truth. When results show you what is real, they are giving you a chance to respond before more is lost. This is mercy in motion. It is the chance to stop pouring energy into what keeps emptying you. It is the chance to stop calling persistence wisdom when persistence is really denial. It is the chance to let go of what has already proven it cannot hold you well. That release may feel like grief for a moment. But beneath the grief there is relief. There is strength. There is the beginning of a truer life. You may be tempted to hide from the results because they feel too honest. Yet hiding only delays the conversation. The life you want begins when you are willing to face the evidence without collapsing under it. That takes courage. It is soft. Takes a heart that can say, I see what this is showing me and I am willing to learn. That sentence can change everything. It stops the cycle of blame. It opens the door to correction. It allows peace to enter the room because peace always follows truth when truth is met with humility. Feel it in your soul. Results are a kind of language. They speak about what you have been repeating. They speak about what you have been tolerating. They speak about what you have been feeding. If your days have felt chaotic, maybe your routines need care. If your mind has felt scattered, maybe your attention needs protection. If your heart has felt lonely, maybe your connections need honesty. If your spirit has felt dry, maybe your inner life needs tending. Results are not random thunder. They are messages. Read them slowly. Read them kindly. Read them as invitations to become more aligned. There is something powerful about a person who can say, the result is not what I wanted, but I will not lie to myself about it. That person becomes stronger because they stop wasting energy on fantasy. They begin to use energy on repair. Repair is beautiful. Repair is the act of respecting reality enough to work with it instead of against it. Repair may mean changing a habit. It may mean having a hard conversation. It may mean asking for help. It may mean resting before making the next move. Whatever it is, repair is a holy kind of courage. Listen to this. Some results are painful because they expose an old agreement you made with fear. Perhaps you agreed to stay small to stay safe. Perhaps you agreed to hide to avoid disappointment. Perhaps you agreed to settle to avoid uncertainty. Those agreements can live quietly for a long time, but results eventually reveal their cost. That does not mean you are broken beyond repair. It means you can renegotiate with your own life. You can choose safety that is real, not fear-based. You can choose growth that is steady, not reckless. You can choose a future that honors your spirit. Results are not always immediate, and that matters too. Some choices take time to show their shape. A seed planted today may not speak loudly tomorrow, but over time patterns reveal themselves. So if you are waiting and wondering whether your changes matter, keep going. Small acts count. A calmer response counts. A more honest boundary counts. Consistent practice counts. The unseen work you are doing is not wasted simply because it has not yet become visible. Growth often begins in the invisible. It becomes visible later, after patience has done its quiet work. Do not abandon the seed. Breathe with me for a moment. You are allowed to let a result change your mind. That is not a weakness. That is wisdom in motion. If something keeps producing exhaustion, you can reconsider it. If something keeps producing chaos, you can step back. If something keeps producing resentment, you can choose differently. You do not need to wait for a total collapse to respect what is already clear. Sometimes wisdom arrives as a gentle no. Sometimes it arrives as a slower yes. Sometimes it arrives as a new path you had not noticed because you were staring too long at one door. The Creator has placed in you a conscience for a reason. That inner witness helps you sense when the story you are telling yourself no longer matches the evidence. Helps you pause before repeating a mistake. It helps you feel the difference between sincere effort and self-deception. When results disagree with your excuses, do not hate yourself. Thank conscience for speaking up. It is trying to protect you. It is trying to keep your life honest enough to heal. The more you listen, the more peaceful you become, because peace loves alignment and resists contradiction. You may fear that seeing the truth means losing hope. Does not. Truth is not the enemy of hope. Truth is what makes hope trustworthy. Hope without honesty becomes wishful thinking. Hope with honesty becomes courage. Courage can look directly at the result and still believe a better future is possible. That is a deeper kind of faith in life. It does not deny the evidence. It works with the evidence. Says, yes, this happened, and yes, I can still move forward. That forward movement may begin with one small adjustment, but it is still movement. Remember this truth. A result can be the end of an illusion and the beginning of freedom. When the illusion ends, you may feel grief. Let yourself feel it. Grief is not failure. It is the body and heart releasing a story that no longer fits. After grief comes clarity. After clarity comes a different kind of strength. You stop trying to force what keeps resisting. You start respecting what life is showing you. That respect changes your choices, changes your expectations, changes your peace. It can even change the kind of people and opportunities you welcome. There is no shame in learning late. There is only damage in refusing to learn once the lesson has arrived. Be gentle with your timeline. Some lessons come slowly because your heart needs time to trust them. But once they are seen, respond. Do not linger in the old argument. Do not keep feeding the old pattern. Do not ask life to keep proving what it has already shown. Instead, ask yourself what this result is trying to protect you from. Ask what better path has been waiting for your attention. Ask what new habit would honor your future more faithfully. Results do not lie, but your interpretation of them can either heal you or harm you. So interpret with kindness. If you have made mistakes, speak to yourself as someone worthy of repair, not someone deserving of endless punishment. If someone else has made mistakes, let their results inform your boundaries without hardening your heart beyond recognition. If life has disappointed you, let disappointment become discernment. Discernment is one of the deepest gifts of maturity. It helps you see what is genuine, what is unstable, and what requires change. Keeps you from repeating what your soul already knows is costly. Listen to this. Sometimes the good in results is not that they flatter you. It is that they free you from denial. Denial keeps a person stuck in a loop of hope without movement. Freedom starts when the loop is interrupted. A hard result can be the interruption, can be the moment you finally say, enough. Enough pretending. Enough postponing. Enough hoping that a harmful pattern will magically become harmless. Enough waiting for a different outcome from the same actions. That moment can be uncomfortable, but it can also be the first honest breath of a new season. You are not less lovable because a result disappointed you. You are not less capable because a result exposes a weakness. You are not less called because a result showed you where to grow. These truths matter because shame loves to exaggerate. Shame turns feedback into identity. Shame says the mistake is the self. But that is not true. The mistake is a moment. The self is larger, more flexible, and still capable of becoming wiser. Treat yourself accordingly. Let the result guide you, not define you. Then your heart can stay open to growth without drowning in self-contempt. Breathe with me for a moment. Notice how much relief comes when you stop fighting reality. Fighting reality consumes energy that could be used for healing. Acceptance does not mean approval. It means clear seeing. It means you stop pretending the evidence is something else. Once you see clearly, you can decide clearly. That decision may be to rest, to leave, to seek help, to begin a new practice, or to keep going with better wisdom. All of those are acts of dignity. All of them honor the truth your life is already speaking. The Creator has not given you this season of feedback to torment you. Feedback is a form of guidance. Says, look here, just here, heal here, change here. That is not punishment. That is care. A loving guide does not let you wander forever without a signal. Results are signals. They tell you where the current is strong, where the footing is weak, where the road is safe, where the path needs changing. Pay attention to them. Not with panic, but with readiness. You are being helped more than you realize whenever truth becomes visible. Feel it in your soul. One honest adjustment can save you months of unnecessary pain. That is why this message matters so much. You do not have to keep paying the cost of avoidable mistakes. You can learn from results now. You can pivot. You can simplify. You can stop feeding what drains you. You can begin nourishing what strengthens you. Small changes matter because they change the direction of repetition. Over time, direction becomes destiny. So do not underestimate the humble power of one correction, one new habit, one clear boundary, one truthful conversation. Those things can remake a life. There is a quiet kind of success that comes from being teachable. Teachable people move through life with less ego and more growth. They can look at a disappointing result and say, "Thank you for showing me." They can look at a good result and say, "Thank you for reminding me to stay humble." They do not need to win every argument. They need to learn what is real. That makes them resilient. It makes them easier to trust. It makes them better friends to themselves. Teachable hearts are fertile ground for lasting change. You may have spent too long treating feelings as facts and facts as insults. But facts are simply facts. They are not there to mock you. They are there to support you. The result says, "This is what happened." Does not say, "This is all you are." Your job is to keep the two separate. Then you can respond with wisdom instead of panic. You can ask what the fact reveals about the method, the habit, the expectation, or the boundary. That kind of thinking turns disappointment into direction. It keeps the heart from drowning in unnecessary drama. Remember this truth. The result you do not like may be the result you needed to finally stop negotiating with what is not working. Sometimes life has to become undeniable before you become willing. That is not because you are stubborn in a bad way. It is because human beings love familiar patterns, even when those patterns hurt. Results can break that spell. They can make the cost visible. And when the cost becomes visible, change becomes less abstract. It becomes necessary. Necessary change often becomes blessed change because it leads to a life with less hidden strain. The Creator has given you enough courage for this moment. Not for every future moment in advance, but for this moment. One step at a time. One honest breath at a time. One adjustment at a time. You do not need to solve the entire story today. You only need to stop lying to yourself about what the story is showing you. That honesty will light the next step. And the next step will lighten the load. And the load will slowly become easier to carry as wisdom replaces denial. That is how healing often works. Listen to this. If you are waiting for a result to tell you whether your effort matters, keep going. Some work takes time to reveal itself. The unseen effort of changing your mind, calming your reactions, and caring for your spirit is already valuable. Do not measure all progress by public evidence. Internal progress counts too. Your patience counts. Your consistency counts. Your willingness to learn counts. Your refusal to keep repeating what hurts counts. Even if no one applauds yet, heaven sees the growth of a heart that is willing to become more honest. There are moments when you may need to mourn what you hoped would happen. That mourning is allowed. It makes room for reality without erasing hope. You can grieve and still keep moving. You can admit disappointment and still trust that your story is not over. In fact, sometimes grief is what clears the way for better hope, because it removes fantasy and leaves room for truth. Truth has a sturdier shape, can hold more peace, can hold more responsibility. It can hold a future built on what is real, not on what was merely wished. Breathe with me for a moment. Ask yourself, what is this result asking me to stop pretending about? Ask it gently. The answer may show you a habit to change, a conversation to have, a boundary to set, a burden to release, or a promise to yourself that needs keeping. When the answer comes, do not make it into a weapon against your own heart. Make it into a tool for your own growth. Tools are meant for building. Use what you learn to build something wiser, calmer, and more aligned with the life you truly want. Results can be painful because they are honest, but honesty is a form of love when it helps you avoid deeper harm. A friend who tells you the truth may feel uncomfortable in the moment, but that truth can save years of confusion. Life can do the same. It can say, look again, reconsider, and just begin. When you answer that guidance, you become less controlled by denial and more guided by discernment. Discernment is a quiet superpower. It helps you know what belongs in your life and what does not. Protects your peace. You may have spent too long treating feelings as facts and facts as insults. But facts are simply facts. They are not there to mock you. They are there to support you. The result says, this is what happened. Does not say, this is all you are. Your job is to keep the two separate. Then you can respond with wisdom instead of panic. You can ask what the fact reveals about the method, the habit, the expectation, or the boundary. That kind of thinking turns disappointment into direction. It keeps the heart from drowning in unnecessary drama. Listen to this. Your next result can be different. Not because you wish harder, but because you choose differently. That is good news. Means your story is not locked. Means your habits can change. Means your language can change. Means your boundaries can change. Means your pace can change. It means your inner life can change enough to produce a different outer pattern. That possibility is alive in you right now. Do not bury it under fear. Let it breathe. Let it move. Let it become the next honest step you take. So if the result hurts, let it hurt without lying about what it is. Then let it teach you. Let it soften you. Let it redirect you. Let it sharpen your discernment. Let it remind you that you are capable of more honest living than before. The future does not require perfection from you. It requires willingness. Willingness to see. Willingness to adjust. Willingness to keep becoming. And becoming is a sacred thing. It is the quiet unfolding of a life that chooses truth over convenience and growth over denial. That is where peace becomes deeper. Now bring all of this into a calm place inside you. Take one breath, and let your body know it does not need to brace forever. Let your mind know it can be honest without collapsing. Let your heart know it can learn without being ashamed. Reflect on the results in your life with kindness. Pray in your own way. Connect with the divine in your own way. Ask for wisdom that is gentle, courage that is steady, and patience that lasts. If this message helped you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more daily guidance, comfort, and encouragement. And before you go, remember this. Results are not your enemy. They are the honest edge of your own life. And that honesty can save you, mature you, and free you. Let it guide you without shaming you. Let it teach you without breaking you. Let it lead you towards steadier choices, kinder words, and a quieter mind. You do not need to fear what is revealed when you are willing to learn. Reflect on what life has shown you today. Breathe, pray, or connect with the divine in your own way. And take one gentle step forward. If this message met you where you are, please like, comment, and subscribe for more daily guidance, comfort, and encouragement. Your next honest step can become the beginning of peace, clarity, and lasting growth today.